Early morning again. But something is different. The alarm rings at 5 a.m. This time, Ethan doesn't hesitate. He sits up immediately. The room is dim blue. Pre-dawn light barely visible through the blinds. The city still asleep. His movements are quieter now. More intentional. There is no excitement. Just structure. He walks into the kitchen. Cold floor under bare feet. Coffee brewing. Notebook already waiting on the table. He opens it. Day 22. The pen moves slower today. Not because he doubts. But because he's tired. Discipline feels different after the third week. It's no longer a decision. It's friction. Sunrise filters through the apartment window. Warm gold light replaces blue. Ethan is doing push-ups on the living room floor. His breathing steady. Muscles tight. No dramatic soundtrack. Just repetition. The first few weeks were fueled by urgency. Now, urgency fades. This is where most personal growth journeys collapse. When the emotional charge disappears. When motivation is no longer loud. Self-discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It asks whether you show up. Ethan finishes his last rep. Sits back on the floor. Wipes sweat from his forehead. He doesn't feel stronger. He feels responsible. And responsibility is heavier than excitement. Work that day feels longer. The office lights are bright. Cold fluorescent. The usual chatter fills the room. He notices something. He's more observant now. More aware of inefficiencies. More aware of where he used to disengage. He volunteers to restructure part of a tracking system. Small initiative. No applause. His manager nods. That could work. Not praise. Just permission. Progress rarely feels like celebration. It feels like permission to continue. That evening, rain hits the apartment window. Soft but steady. The room glows in warm lamplight. Ethan sits at his desk reviewing course material. Spreadsheets open. Certification modules half complete. His mind wanders. What if I'm just adding pressure? What if this effort changes nothing? Doubt has evolved. It's no longer about starting. It's about sustaining. He leans back in his chair. Closes his eyes for a moment. You ever notice how doubt gets louder when you're alone? When there's no distraction? When your ambition feels bigger than your evidence? He opens his eyes again. Continues. Not because doubt disappeared. Because action interrupts it. 2 weeks later. Midday meeting. Conference room, glass walls reflecting city light. Ethan presents the new tracking adjustment. He speaks slower now. Clearer. No unnecessary filler. Halfway through, a senior supervisor interrupts. This might complicate reporting. The old Ethan would retreat. Apologize quickly. Withdraw. This time. He listens. Waits. Then calmly explains the logic. No emotion. Just clarity. Silence follows. Then a short nod. Test it. It's not approval. But it's movement. And movement builds silent strength. Outside, clouds gather. The city feels heavier. Economic rumors circulate through the office. Budget tightening. Possible restructuring. Whispers. Uncertainty. His chest tightens slightly. He's building discipline. But he cannot control the market. He walks home that evening under darkening skies. Streetlights flicker on. Rain begins again. The city doesn't pause for his growth. It continues. Relentless. Night. Ethan sits at his kitchen table reviewing expenses. He notices something subtle. His savings have grown. Not dramatically. But measurably. 3 months ago, he would have ignored this. Now he tracks it carefully. Still. The fear remains. What if I lose my job? What if this momentum collapses? Resilience is not absence of fear. It's forward motion despite it. He stands. Walks to the window. Rain streaking down glass. City lights blurred. His reflection faintly visible. For a moment. He almost misses the old comfort. Scrolling. Drifting. Blaming. There was less pressure then. Less expectation. Growth demands accountability. Comfort demands nothing. Which one are you choosing right now? Week 6. The routine feels normal. That's the shift. Wake. Train. Study. Work. Track. Reflect. Not dramatic. But stable. His posture changes at work. People notice. Subtle comments. You seem different lately. He shrugs it off. He knows what's different. He's no longer waiting for validation. He's building a success mindset internally. His supervisor pulls him aside one afternoon. There may be changes coming. Budget adjustments. The words land. Not panic. Just awareness. 3 months ago, this would have shattered him. Now. He evaluates. If the job ends. What skills does he have? What progress has he made? What options exist? For the first time. He feels capable. Not protected. Capable. That's emotional healing. Not because circumstances improved. Because identity strengthened. If everything external disappeared tomorrow. Your job. Your support system. Your comfort. Would you still have yourself? Would you trust your own discipline? Or are you still relying on stability to define you? Late Friday afternoon. Email notification. Mandatory all-staff meeting Monday morning. No explanation. The office grows quiet. Eyes meet. Speculation spreads. Ethan closes his laptop slowly. Walks outside. Golden hour sunlight breaks through clouds. Warm rim light outlining buildings. The city looks almost peaceful. But tension hums beneath it. He doesn't rush home. He walks. Longer route. Processing. His breathing steady. He is not the same man from 6 weeks ago. But growth hasn't been tested yet. This will test it. Night again. Apartment quiet. Notebook open. He writes. Whatever happens, I build. He underlines it. Not aggressively. Deliberately. No one is coming to save him. But he no longer needs saving. He needs resilience. He turns off the lamp. Lies down. Rain has stopped. City hums steady outside. Monday is coming. And with it, a moment that will force him to choose between fear and the identity he's been building. Monday arrives without drama. No storm. No sirens. No cinematic chaos. Just cold morning light. The sky is pale gray. The city feels ordinary. Ethan stands in his kitchen in silence, coffee untouched. He slept. But not deeply. There's a stillness in his chest. Not panic. Preparation. The notebook from last night rests on the table. The ink has dried. Whatever happens, I build. He runs his thumb lightly across the words, as if testing whether they still hold weight. Outside, traffic hums like any other weekday. But inside, something irreversible is approaching. The office feels different. Too quiet. Conversations shorter. Laughter forced. Ethan notices small details. A coworker avoiding eye contact. Managers walking faster than usual. Conference room doors closing more often. At 9:02 a.m., the email notification flashes again. All staff, conference room. He stands. Straightens his shirt. Walks down the hallway. Glass walls reflect rows of anxious faces. The supervisor speaks clearly. Corporate restructuring. Budget realignment. Operational downsizing. Certain departments will be reduced. Names will be announced individually. There's no dramatic soundtrack. Just breathing. And then, his name. It lands softly. But heavily. He doesn't react immediately. He nods. Stands. Walks toward HR. The hallway feels longer than it ever has. Fluorescent lights overhead. Cold. Unforgiving. He listens as severance details are explained. 2 months compensation. Healthcare extension. Standard procedure. Standard words. But nothing about this feels standard. Have you ever built momentum? Only to watch the ground shift beneath you. The walk out. Box in his hands. Not much inside. A framed certificate. A notebook. 2 pens. He steps outside. Midday sun bright overhead. Almost indifferent. Cars pass. People move. The world continues without pause. He stands there for a moment. Breath steady. Mind racing. The initial clarity begins to fade. Applications sent. No responses yet. The apartment feels smaller. The silence louder. Morning routine continues. 5 a.m. Push-ups. Study session. But doubt tries again. What if this is a sign? What if you aimed too high? What if rebuilding fails? He sits on the floor after training. back against the wall, breathing heavier than usual. For the first time since the layoff, emotion surfaces. Not tears, but pressure. A realization. His identity had partially depended on employment, even if he didn't love it. Now, he must define himself without it. That's harder. That's emotional healing. Separating worth from title. Separating value from income. Separating confidence from validation. When everything external is stripped away. Who are you? Without the job title. Without the routine. Without the predictable paycheck. Do you still trust your own hands? He redesigns his day. Morning, training and skill building. Midday, applications and outreach. Afternoon, project development. Project? Yes. Instead of waiting passively for responses, he begins drafting a small operational consulting framework. Something simple. A mock portfolio demonstrating how he optimizes logistics systems. It's rough. Unpolished. But it's his. He spends hours refining layouts. Writing case examples. Designing flowcharts. The work absorbs him. Time moves differently when you build. Anxiety decreases when action increases. This is not luck. This is a success mindset forming under pressure. End of week 1. He reviews savings again. The number is smaller than before. Reality sharpens. 2-month severance will pass quickly. Pressure intensifies. He considers taking any available job immediately. A safer move. Less risk. But something inside resists panic decisions. He walks outside at dusk. Streetlights flicker on. Children playing in a nearby courtyard. Life continuing. He slows his breathing. Reminds himself. Overcoming struggles requires clarity. Not reaction. He chooses to apply strategically. Not randomly. He doubles down on skill mastery. If you lost your stability today, would you collapse into urgency? Or would you operate with intention? Your answer determines everything. 2 weeks pass. Then. An email. Interview request. Mid-sized logistics firm. 3 rounds. Competitive. He reads the email twice. No dramatic celebration. Just a steady inhale. He closes the laptop. Walks to the window. Evening light casting soft rim glow along his shoulders. This isn't victory. It's opportunity. He prepares carefully. Studies the company. Refines portfolio. Practices answers. Not to impress. To align. He understands something now. Losing the job forced growth. Growth forced resilience. Resilience built capability. Capability creates leverage. But interviews test more than skill. They test composure under uncertainty. Ethan will face a moment that challenges not just his competence, but his belief in the path he chose. Because sometimes, the door opens, but not in the way you expect. And that's where true silent strength reveals itself.